everybody? How's it going? And welcome to episode 8 of the All Things Nothing podcast here. I hope you guys had a good weekend and enjoying the nice sunny weather out there that's going on. It happened over the weekend. A little bit of rain on Saturday, unfortunately, but nice weather for sure. Hope you guys' weekends and Father's Days was good, and that you were able to get out there and enjoy the nice weekend that we had and get some projects done around the house or fix up or do whatever you do. Hope you guys' workout plans, if you're into that or if you're on that, doing that, and that's going good. Or if you're not, and maybe the sunny weather is getting you excited to get out there and get motivated to go out there and move body around and stay active. Man, it was crazy. I got to go golfing a little bit last Thursday. Golf like a full 18. Haven't done that in almost a year's time. I golf about once a year right now. If I could go golfing more, I would. But I'll take what I can get and get out there. I am not good, but I can hit it straight sometimes. Not all the time, but definitely sometimes, and that is okay with me. I can get through a game of golf and stay ahead. That's my goal. I wouldn't even say I'm good. I just can hit the ball at least straight-ish sometimes and get to the hole. It might take me 10 shots, but I can get there for sure. Man, I think that with golf, it's a little bit of patience for sure. A lot of patience. Honestly, a lot of patience. But having fun when you get out there. I mean, you don't get to golf a lot, and definitely having a nice, relaxing, enjoying time. I think that kind of helps out a lot, is if you're able to relax instead of, trying to perform for others out there and trying to absolutely smash it. So, but what do I know? I only golf once a year. But yeah, hope you guys is good. Some little bit of news going on over the weekend. Let's see. Last week we got the PS5 was announced. I think we covered that a little bit in the Xbox One Series X, which has been announced for some time now. The PS5 took a little bit of a hit with their design. It just kind of looks weird. People were making a bunch of memes and getting like 3-ring binders and putting their PlayStation 2 in that like white 3-ring binder. I saw that meme going around. I mean, right now they're both playing this weird war that always goes on between the consoles about who's going to announce their price first, and who like, if PlayStation does it, Xbox can just cut their price, and if Xbox does it first, PlayStation just cut their price and be messers like, oh, look how much this costs. And you sort of get into this bickering back and forth war. But I mean, most platforms, most games, honestly, or a lot of them are heading towards the cross-platform play, which is really nice. And we saw a new game because E3 is supposed to be going on at this time. We saw a new game launched last week. Debuted. It was the Star Wars Squadrons. It's only a $40 game, but if you're into like a flight simulator, or it's not a flight simulator, but kind of, it's a Star Wars flight simulator. But yeah, $40. They kind of announced that last week. Said that it'll be fully cross-platform upon release. So available on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5 upon release, and fully playable there. It will include a single-player story, which is awesome. I mean, EA owns the Star Wars title or franchise, technically, in sort of the video game industry right now. They have failed. They failed, and they have fumbled it a lot. They released Battlefront, the first one, which went over quite rough. It was met with a meh review, and then Battlefront 2 is even hit a little bit harder. And then EA finally released Fallen Order, which was a step in the right direction. And that game was I think 8 or 9 out of 10 on like IGN, and I think it was super high on Metacritic. It was just a very solid single-player game with very good combat. Combat was sort of similar to Dark Souls and some of the other, I think Soulborn is another one, but I think Dark Souls was they had similar type lightsaber or sword gameplay, where you had to, every opponent, every enemy has a different attack pattern, and memorizing that attack pattern, parrying and countering at the correct times helps you significantly stretch your life. Also, there's force power since it's a Star Wars game, so that helps out tremendously as well. But yeah, that game was a solid game. I love that game. The story was great, and the gameplay was great. I'm not really a Dark Souls player. I kind of just never got into it, but that game was a lot of fun. It was really enjoyable, and they came out with Squadrons, and the single player in that one looks great. The graphics look great. Some of the game modes and gameplays look great. Another big step up in the right direction. I covered this last time, was that, but they officially announced it. Last week we were just reading rumors/reports off of some quotes from the designers, but like nothing is really confirmed until nothing really is confirmed until the game comes out. But they did state specifically that all cosmetics and everything like that will be earned through games, so that's fantastic to see. But the PS5 and Xbox One Series X stuff, price negotiation and price, all this stuff is going on, and hopefully, it always is sought after. It's like, oh man, who's going to be high? And like, oh man, this was. And I think everything mainly always comes up to 500. And if anything, they'll always drop it down for the winter season. Anyway, in the holiday, they always drop it, have their initial release, and then a month or two later, they drop the price. So crazy. But we're already at the next gen. It's crazy to think that it's already been that long. Xbox One X just came out probably a few years ago. Let's actually see and confirm when it came out. Let's see, Xbox One X release date. Man, when was the release date? Man, November 2017. It's been 3 years. And let's see the Xbox One release date. Let's see when that was. Holy moly. Don't tell me. Oh, holy moly, dude. Oh my god. The 2013. It's almost been 7 years. Man, time flies. Time flies for sure. But yeah, we're getting onto the new verge of the next generation. That should be a lot of fun. Coming up here last week as well, we saw some announcements as far as new games. Let's see, Nintendo had their thing. There's a new Pokemon Snap coming out. And it's been like 20 years since that has been released. And then the Pokemon Cafe was a thing that came out as well. I don't know if there's a lot of details on that. Yeah, Pokemon Cafe Mix. Which is crazy to think that that's going to be a new Pokemon title. Anytime a new Pokemon game comes out, it's always widely met with positive stuff. You can't really go wrong with Pokemon. That can be definitely argued, especially with Game Freak's latest thing to withhold Pokemon from their latest game release, especially Pokemon Sword and Shield, which their new DLC just dropped, but I don't know much about that, so I can't really cover that. But the Pokemon Cafe Mix is a touch-based puzzle to serve dishes and drinks to adorable Pokemon customers. So it's sort of a puzzle game, and you get to feed Pokemon and figure out puzzles, so that should be a nice fun game. And Pokemon Snap, if you don't remember, that was like a picture game with Pokemon like a long time ago, and I think, I remember getting Pokemon Snap because you could actually get like an add-on for your Super Nintendo / N64, and then play, for your N64, and you could play your Game Boy game on the big TV with your controller, which was super nice. I enjoyed playing it on my Game Boy game, but having the option to be able to plug my game in and play it on the computer there, or on the big screen. Back in 1999, the big screen, it was like a 20-inch or something like that. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, they're coming out with a new one, so that should be fun. There's been a plethora of new Pokemon ads since March 21st of 1999, and that should have more than enough options to take more pictures of Pokemon if that's your thing. Let's see, we got some big news, especially big video game news today that sort of just kind of hit the market like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. this morning. There was a tweet sent out by Mixer.com. If you don't know what Mixer is, it's a streaming platform similar to that of Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is, it's kind of where people stream. Oh man, it is like a stream. People stream, and they stream content such as their podcasts. They stream video games that they play. They stream working out and cooking and anything that you can imagine. There's probably an avenue for it on Twitch or Mixer. We're kind of the big two giants. Twitch obviously being the biggest giant there is, because most people have heard of that. You have a lot of partnerships with like esports companies, especially Call of Duty and Halo. We're partnered with Mixer and Twitch as well. Different streamers partnered with Twitch. One of the biggest streamers out there, being Ninja, is out there. Made his announcement, I believe, not last October, but a year ago from their October, and made his switch over to Mixer recently. Not recently, almost over a year and a half ago. But they did release a post this morning that they are going to officially be shutting down July 22nd. Sort of just a purely out of the blue announcement. It was crazy. I mean, I watch a lot of streamers on Twitch, and they're friends with Ninja and Shroud and some of the other bigger platformers that are on Mixer right now, or that have made that jump from Twitch to Mixer, probably within the last year and a half to 2 years. And it's crazy to see and wonder what is going to be happening within the next week. It is a big move that they made. It was a big jump. It was a leap of faith that they made. And almost 2 years later, we've come to this, and now Mixer is going to be shutting down. They have encouraged everybody, they partner, not necessarily partnered, but they have encouraged everybody that they're going to be switching everybody to a Facebook Gaming, which is a thing. If you didn't know, Facebook Gaming is a live streaming app, of course. It's one of the lesser known, though it is on there. But I mean, I've been on Facebook a lot of times and hasn't seen like a option for it. I mean, I don't go on the PC version a lot. I am on mobile a lot with Facebook. I think a lot of people are, but it isn't necessarily something that's always advertised or brought up on my phone. I mean, now that I'm talking about it next to my phone, it'll probably be, I'll probably have 1,000 ads here over the next week or two. But there essentially is like their partner or their sort of liaison in this whole exchange. And so Mixer and Facebook are going to be offering people partner status and benefits from our Mixer partners. So those people who are partnered over there have a gained affiliate status or partner status over there will be able to carry that on throughout Facebook Gaming. And payments are going to be also made out there as well. Just some few excerpts from the Mixer blog that I wanted to read for you guys. From the beginning, Mixer has been about creating the most engaging and interactive live streaming experience. We set out to help streamers build great communities based on deep engagement with their audience. You all have been amazing throughout this journey. The Mixer community has focused on creating welcoming and inclusive communities, and you should be proud of what you accomplished together. Ultimately, the success of partners and streamers on Mixer is dependent on our ability to scale the platform from them as quickly and as broadly as possible. It became clear that the time needed to grow our live streaming community to scale was out of measure with the vision and experiences that Microsoft and Xbox want to deliver for gamers now. So they decided to close the operations side of the Mixer and help the community transition to a new platform. Yeah, it's such crazy news. I mean, it's the second biggest giant essentially decided to just close. Some reports are coming out that a lot of people didn't know, especially who worked for Mixer, didn't know that this was happening or this was going to be going on, and we're sort of blindsided about this. But I haven't seen confirmed official reports. There's a lot of rumors, but yeah, it's crazy to see all this going down. Some of the bigger streamers need to make a decision. Let's see. Few reports on Twitter. R. Lewis reports, sources familiar with the deal have informed me that while Facebook did try and negotiate to keep their big partners, both Shroud and Ninja have both opted out. They received their full payments as of midnight yesterday and were free to engage in talks with other platforms. If you didn't know, big content creators such as Ninja and Dr. Disrespect and 701G out there, Shroud, of course, they can sign contracts and exclusive contracts with Twitch and Mixer and these big agencies to sort of become their mainstay, and that's where they stream primarily. And so both Shroud and Ninja both signed big contracts with Mixer. It was big news about almost 2 years ago. And they received both of their payments out there. Another report from @Slasher, sources confirmed that Facebook offered an insane offer at almost double for the original Mixer contracts of Ninja and Shroud, but Ninja and Shroud said no and forced Mixer to buy them out. Ninja made about roughly $30 million from Mixer, and Shroud made about $10 million. Ninja and Shroud are now free agents. Both streamers Shroud and Ninja have both tweeted out today that they appreciate what the community has done for them and everything that they've been able to do, and now they have to sort of are going to be taking the week off / making their next decisions on what they're going to do next. It's big shocking news for them too. I'm not sure if they knew beforehand or whatnot. I'm sure that over the next week we'll probably hear more discussion and more news about what happened. But I wish the best of those guys into luck. Those guys deserve it. They've been out here grinding. It was sort of a big leap of faith for both Shroud and Ninja to make that jump from Twitch, which has been sort of the mainstay for a lot of streamers, over to Mixer. And to do that, it was just an insane thing to hear about. That, oh my gosh, I can't believe Twitch lost these people, and now that Mixer's shutting down, now they're almost back to it. So we'll hear news from them. Now they've got some good negotiation tactics going on. A lot of people are like, imagine turning down $60 million from Facebook because they were offered almost double. It's very crazy to think about, but it's honestly a good thing, because it's like, well, I know what, now that those streamers can go back and be like, well, I know what Facebook was willing to offer me, and now they can go to the other streaming platforms, sort of the bigger ones, Twitch and YouTube, and see hey, wait, they were offering me this. What can you guys offer me, and what else can you offer me? Most streamers have stated that it isn't about the money, and I believe them. It wasn't necessarily all about the money, and it was more of peace of mind. Twitch primarily runs off of subscribers and getting your sub account high, and that's kind of how you got paid for it. Having that sort of guaranteed money was really nice for those streamers, because it gave them a sort of peace of mind that it's not about how many subs and how many people you can get to stream. And it still is, but now that you've sort of established yourself, you can continue to push forward and create better content and create good content, and focus on creating just content that you want to do. That's not necessarily you're creating good content for what the content creator wants to create. And I think that that's important. Not everything that I talk about on this podcast or that I've talked about in the past has been most exciting or all the most entertaining for individuals, but I think that having that sort of guaranteed money behind them allows them to be able to sort of spread out and branch out into what they want to do. If Ninja wants to go play World of Warcraft and get off of sweaty FPS games and like Fortnite or Call of Duty, and he wants to go out there and play, then he has more power to him to go do that, and can sort of branch out and not always have to play sweaty games where people that's where the most people are, and be on the edge of cutting edge and of new games and everything like that. So I think that that's sort of important to take note of, is that as these guys try to figure out and take their money and see what their offers are and see what their options are, especially for streamers and platformers and what else is out there. That's an important thing. So I wish the best of luck for all of those streamers and all of the people besides just Ninja and Shroud. I mean, Ninja and Shroud are the two biggest, and they make a lot of money, but I really feel, I mean, the stuff that doesn't get covered. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that those stories aren't getting covered. The two biggest ones are getting covered, and the big names are getting covered. Like, what's going to do? But like, most of those guys are just going to play the money game. Like, hey, who wants me? What's your offer? And I feel bad for sort of the smaller guy, the small fry that maybe he'd just gained Mixer partner, within the last 2 weeks. I don't know how long Mixer is really known or how often they've partnered people, but those people who've been working hard and grinding on their thing, or maybe some people who have recently switched from Twitch to Mixer within the last week, and then all of a sudden they get this news, and it's just like, oh, okay, right back to Twitch, I guess. And I hope that those sort of stories get shed to light, especially those who people, that's their sort of livelihood, is streaming on Mixer or Twitch. Some of these smaller channels that are just kind of getting buried, and it's just like, oh, you got to make the news, and it's just like, well, hey, Facebook, they made us partner, and hopefully Facebook honors all of those things going forward, and I think that would be a good thing for them. But anyway, good luck to all those small fries and small guys out there, and I hope that they can continue on their path to be better and better themselves and better their platforms. I mean, Laserhawk's one of my buddy and my friend that streams on Mixer, and he's going to make a decision on where to go next, and I wish him the best of luck there too. So but yeah, let's go. Let's see, next topic. We had some fights over the weekend. Not the best fights, to be honest with you, but good fights nonetheless. Undercard, a few good things, couple good knockouts. In the main card event, you had Jim Miller versus Roosevelt Roberts, and Jim Miller won by submission in the first round. That guy is tied for the most UFC Octagon appearances with Donald Cerrone, had like some resounding 25 or 30 appearances, which is just insane. Unfortunately, the rest of the fights were all decisions. I mean, not necessarily inefficient. They were very unanimous decisions, so they're very one-sided. Let's see, Raquel Pennington picked up a win over Marion Renault. Bilal Muhammad picked up a win over Lyman Goodman. Josh Emmett and Shane Burgos was a very good fight. That fight was very back and forth. Shane Burgos has a chin of granite. If you don't know that means he got punched in the face quite a lot and didn't get knocked out. When you're getting hit with big shots, that's insane. I mean, any shot that comes towards me, and if you're just getting punched left and right, not getting knocked out, that's insane. Shane Burgos ended up losing. Josh Emmett ended up picking up the win, but that was a good fight of the year candidate. And then Curtis Blades, the main event, versus Alexander Volkov. You saw Curtis Blades beat Volkov by unanimous decision. Curtis Blades tied for the most, it was 3 rounds in, and he tied for the most takedowns in heavyweight history with 12. So, sort of a one-sided fight there. I mean, there were some reports that Volkov looked like he was coming back towards the later rounds, but I think that it was almost too far gone by the time that he started mounting his comeback. But coming up this next week, we've got big fight night. Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. Kind of a funny name. Dustin Poirier was the UFC lightweight champion. He did fight Khabib Nurmagomedov back in September of 2019, where he lost. He was on a 6 fight win streak, with a no contest Eddie Alvarez, in which they fought each other again, almost 2 or 3 fights later, and he ended up knocking him out again. But yeah, he lost to Khabib, and this is his sort of return fight from being champion against Dan Hooker. That should be a good fight. Dan Hooker is a very competitive, very good fighter. He's on a 3-fight win streak with a KO and 2 decisions back to back. Let's see. Let's just cover the main card. Prelim card. There's a few. Luis Pena. Just kind of searching through it. I don't know. Yeah, doubt anybody knows the actual names. But if you do, give me a shout out, and I will cover those next time. But let's see. Let's start at the main card. Bottom fight, we got Gian Vellante versus Maurice Green. Gian Vellante trains with Cesaro Longo in New York. That should be a good fight. Both heavyweights, both smash. Maurice Green smashes. They both go at it. That should be a fun fight. Heavyweights are always a nice, fun fight to watch. Let's see. Maurice Green is on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost via TKO to Sergey Pavlovich, and recently by submission to the armbar. And then Gian Vellante, let's see. He is also on a 1-fight losing streak, losing by TKO. So both these fighters need a win. Good luck to them. I would say that my money is on Maurice. My money's on Maurice. That's what I'm going to go with. Next fight, middleweight bout. I don't really know. Brendan Allen and Kyle Dacus. I don't know enough to cover them. And then in the co-main event, we have Mike Perry versus Mickey Gall. Mike Perry, a very good, tough as nails fighter. Sort of a wild man. And then Mickey Gall from Dana White's Contender Series. Let's see. Mike Perry is on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost by split decision to Vincent De Luc, and by TKO to Jeff Neal in the end of December. And then Mickey Gall is on a 1-fight winning streak, winning by decision. So Mike Perry almost needs a win. Going on a 3-fight losing streak, not the best thing. For sure needs to get back on that win train. He goes out there and lays everything out. He's sort of he just lays it all on the line. But Mike Perry, I believe, has the better, more experience over Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall has only been a pro for 8 fights, while Mike Perry has been a pro for almost 20 fights. I think this will be his 20th fight going in there. So I want to go with Mike Perry on this fight. And then finishing off, you got Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. Dustin obviously coming off of a loss from Khabib from a year ago, but he's getting back in there. And then Dan Hooker is on a 3-fight win streak with a KO and 2 decisions. Poirier is just a much more solid fighter, and he is the one that I want to see win. He just has a lot more ahead of him, and I think Hooker has a lot more ahead of him. But Poirier has proven himself to be a very good, very tough as nails fighter, and hope to see him back in the title picture. I think after that, we've got Usman versus Burns, and we've covered that in the past. That will be in the following weeks, so that should be a fun fight. That's going to be a nice card to review. There's 3 title fights on that card. Let's see. Episode 8 just flying by, actually. I appreciate you guys here and everything going forward. Just sort of review. Let's just see. Just sort of review going with Dustin Poirier, Mike Perry, and Maurice Green on the main card. Brendan Allen versus Kyle Dacus. I don't know enough about those two, but I will do my research next time and get ahead of that. Let's see, what else did we cover in this episode? We covered the Big Mixer versus Shutting Down news, PlayStation 5 versus Xbox review news. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying these episodes. I unfortunately can't upload to SoundCloud. I've used my quote-unquote limit there, unless I pay money, which I don't have an issue with necessarily, but I also kind of wanted to get to 10 episodes before I started spending money, but I wanted to go forward and continue to upload on YouTube, as that's kind of our primary and go from there. But I appreciate all of you guys being here and you guys listening. And you guys have given feedback, whether it be my closest friends or my close family as well. And appreciate all of the feedback that you guys give me. Hopefully this is episode 8. I know that I said that I almost bust out 2 or 3 episodes last week, but I didn't. Not gonna make that promise here today. We'll see how this week goes. But I just wanted to start you guys' Monday morning / Tuesdays off on a big hit and go forward from there. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're hearing, and just like and subscribe this video and continue to go forward. I appreciate you guys all so much, and appreciate you guys' help listening. But I hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys have a good day.